we're making a big push for workforce development. And so I guess one of my concerns that Representative Gobler brought up, if some of these job losses happen in regards to raising, the minimum wage, $15 an hour, let's say, it is those entry-level jobs that we could be losing. I would assume, as I look at 33,000, 54,000, those are the kind of jobs. And those are the jobs, as I go around to businesses, some with all of you, as we go around Bedford or Fulton County together, and we're hearing from employers, we need people to show up on time. We need people who know what it's like to work. And so part of what we do in workforce development has always been those entry-level jobs that teach those soft skills. And I have a great concern that if we lose that, we're losing a part of economic development, or a part of career training and workforce development that we already have in place. Is that a concern that you would share at all?
Absolutely, it's a concern. It's absolutely a concern. I don't know that I would necessarily equate that just with the minimum wage increases, regardless of what the minimum wage increase would be. You are absolutely right about the ability for, coming into entry-level jobs, the soft skills. That's one of the things that I hear more and more, and I'm sure you've heard it a lot because you mentioned it. We hear that more and more, that the soft skills are things that really need to be taught. And I think through some of the workforce development programs that we'll discuss here today, and you may have discussed with the Department of Labor and Industry, we can start to attack that. I'm not so sure that I agree with the job losses that are quoted in some of the reports. And again, based upon experience, based upon going out there, based upon talking to employers, from the smallest to medium, large employers.
But there is a little bit of a difference when we talk to businesses of size. For instance, I've got a little ice cream shop, which I frequent often, as you can tell, in my town. And well, that's very diplomatic of you. But and this business owner is saying, he is going to have a problem. But meanwhile, the Dairy Queen, a big corporation, they're not going to have that issue. So I do worry about the effect of the small mom and pops who are, again, a lot of those folks that are in those jobs are in entry-level jobs or trying to get those skills necessary, but it's also sustaining this family's business. And so would you see a difference between, because I think I do when I speak to small or large businesses, mom and pops versus the big boys that can, and most of them are paying, market-driven more than what minimum wage is.
Right. I think it definitely needs to be looked at. I look at also issues related to, I'm from the Pittsburgh area, and in Allegheny County, we have 130 municipalities in Allegheny County. And we have some municipalities that have a police force where they're paying minimum wage. And these are to policemen that are carrying guns. And in a lot of cases, it's not enough to sustain a family. To pay for a family. So what they end up doing is they end up getting another job, and they have two different jobs, and maybe they're working a double shift because that's what the municipality can afford to pay, or that's what they're paying. So we need to look at this kind of comprehensively.
Right, and if they can't afford it, I mean, one of the things I've always struggled with. I'm no economist, just trying to do some basic math. If $15 an hour is a wage that would be considered a living wage for a family of four, why wouldn't we make it $25 an hour? Yeah. Where is the cutoff to where we can say this actually harms the economy versus not?
Well, I think that's the discussion that we should be having, and I think the governor's proposal at $12 an hour, again, with the companies that I meet with, and I meet with some of the small companies because in a lot of cases I'm meeting with mayors or former mayors in municipalities that are concerned about everything that's going on in their municipality and keeping the small mom and pop dairy mart or whatever. I think it needs to be discussed. I think it all needs to be discussed, and I think from my standpoint, I look at some of the other issues related to people that are not making a wage that is consistent with what they need to live properly. And
that's what I think we all want. Well, we want to get to that point of pursuing those jobs that are family-sustaining jobs, and also, look, I mean, it's the American dream, right? That we want to see people achieve that and provide those skills necessary.
Absolutely, but I think it's both, and I think we need to look at both comprehensively, because we need to really understand that there are people that are out there right now that are single parents that are again, maybe have two minimum wage jobs, and they don't have the ability to go out and get properly trained because they're just trying to make a living. They're just trying to take care of their kids, make a living. And that's wrapped up in all of this. So I think you're absolutely right. We need to look at it comprehensively.